Can you hear me now? Can you hear? Can you hear me now? Let me know. How you doing? Warrior above. What? Warrior above. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm talking about Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali. All right, now I'm not even gonna get on this fight part. My whole thing is, what is Papoose doing? I'm doing fine. When a young woman gets with an old man, because regardless of the fact, this is an old man with kids. She don't have no kids. She's young. She's got her career going. Then you got this old man that's nothing. He's literally known for somebody sitting there. He's supporting her. He literally jumped from one woman to another. He's supporting her legacy, but her legacy was already written before him. But what is his legacy? A man that's for his woman, he run. Right. So my whole thing is, look at what Clarissa is going through and look at what has he said. What has he done to be in her corner? He's letting her stand take all this criticism on her own, and he ain't stood and said nothing. But when his wife used to get in situations, he spoke up for his wife. Right? This is the difference of seeing how you doing? CC Ali. Okay, you go. But when it comes down to a young woman getting with these older men, somebody's supposed to be in her corner letting her know, if you're gonna be with this old man that got worms, then you know what? You need to be benefiting from it. What is he bringing to the table? So far he um now he's rapping when she's getting ready to open up and box. Now she done started the win records or something like that. And he's on a label that literally got three people signed, and she's the only boxing sport, the face of the Win Records or whatever. And have you heard the girl rap? She said that she's only standing, that boxing is her brand. So far, she rapping. She's talking about these people that she fought wanting to be black or whatever. And she said that she's opening up doors for women. How are you opening up a door that was already open? Right? Now, I'm not even, this is not to be getting on her. Exactly. This is not to get on her. This is about this young woman sitting up here risking her career. Yes, he is a mess up. He's actually in her career, and he's messing it up because he's number one, she's risking everything based on um a possibility that he's her future, right? It's a lot of things that can mess up him being part of her future. If him and his wife decides to reconcile, what can she say about it? If she mess around and get pregnant first before him and his wife decides to reconcile, now you got a bastard child, right? Then second of all, is nothing you can say. How can you fight a woman that you befriended just so you can get with her man? Second of all. Third of all the things that you're doing to go up against Layla Ali is disturbing. Not because you're trying to get your recognition, but it's because you have an old man on the side of you that's not saying, babe, chill out, chill out. Look, you looking a little, this and that. You have a lot of great things going for you because he's old. He's supposed to have wisdom too. But he's in a place where he's trying to get his come up, guaranteed to try and prove to his wife that he can do it without her. It's still him playing the game. It's games that's being played because he's butt hurt. Yeah, he old. He too old to be sitting up here playing these games or letting this girl that had a very promising career sit up here and go to battle with somebody that's already established. It's so many things that she could be doing out here, but she's sitting up here chasing something that's a waste of time. Because even if Layla Ali got in the ring with her and just say she lost, even if she lost, that's not going. Bro, it's like 96, right? You see what I'm saying? And if she lost, she's still at the end of the day. If you win that belt, her face is on it. So you still got to take her home with you. She's still going to taunt you for the rest of your life because she's already branded. She already have a brand. How can you come in between that? How can you sit up here and talk about this woman's deceased father because you want to pick at her because and you telling everybody you would knock her out or whatever? These are things that you're assuming. These are assumptions because there's no proof in it. You saying even if she was in her prime, how can you talk about her prime if her prime is gone? And then you say, oh, so pretty. You're acknowledging that the woman is beautiful. Yes, she is. Layla is very beautiful. Her daddy said that he was beautiful, but that's also showing that my girl, she just needs some people in her corner that's gonna ask her, "What's this all for?" That's the scary thing, that you would put everything on the line and lose what you done on the game. It's like playing poker. How are you gonna throw all the chips in when a person is carrying the best hand, the ultimate hand? There's no way to defeat that hand. You're finna cash in on everything for what? For what? Like, what is the purpose of going up against somebody 48 years old and you're 29, 30? I'll talk about this because I have children that ask me things. It's supposed to be somebody, she's 29 or 30, and he like 47, same age as the person she trying to fight, right? And then when she say that this girl, she running from somebody that she fought, I just saw a list of all the people that's trying to fight her, even a 54-year-old woman. So I I feel bad for her because I've never watched her fight, right? And I was thinking about watching her fight, but because of watching all the stuff for her staying in the blogs and people, talking about her character is shot. It's shot. She's not worth me watching. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Look, I look a hot mess, but it is what it is. Um, and I look at what's going on with our youth, and she keep on saying, "Oh, the old people are just hating." Do you know how many young people is not making it to our age because of all the things that it's a lot of things that this youth is smarter than us about, because this is their day and age, and we have to get familiar with it. They're born into it, right? But when a young person is like, "Oh, they just old, they just hating," it's not hating. It's about us trying to understand where you're coming from, like the music. We can't relate because I tried to listen to what they considered R&B now. It's sexually driven. Nothing about love. It's sexually driven. So it's one of those, we can keep being promiscuous, and the diseases is being at an all-time high. They're talking about the disease. Oh, it's just a STD. You can go and get it cleared up. I done seen so many hip hop artists that's literally having interviews and just falling asleep because they high on something. This, and I'm like, it's not for me to sit up and knock our youth. Is we have to feel bad for them, because they're being played out. They're getting all of the fast money, this and that and that, but they're being destroyed. They're being destroyed because they're giving them fast fixes. We had to go through and figure things out. But now it's nobody pushing for them, having somebody in their corner to challenge them. No, you're not finna go and destroy everything. We're trying to get you to a place of having longevity. Not when, like Clarissa, she'll say, right now I'm the it, or what she say? She said, this is my time. Okay, for it to be your time, like um not necessarily generation, but just from having a decade, being able to get to a place of having a decade, character is gonna have to play a part. Okay, bye. Look, don't forget, push like, subscribe, and bye, girl. Yeah, like, comment. I love you. Be safe out here and keep your head up, okay? Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like when I'm gonna go in, put my times or whatever, but work with me. I'm figuring this thing out. Okay. How about you just stay on for an hour? Huh? Maybe just stay online for an hour. Okay, here go one of these youth telling me what to do. My 13-year-old telling me, why don't I just stay on for an hour? I may not have an hour's worth of work to talk about. He say I do got a lot to talk about. What about Diddy? I told What about Epstein? You hear him? He said, "What about Diddy? What about Epstein? All that different stuff." No, right now I'm talking about Clarissa. Like him, he 13, but the stuff that I'm talking on here, I tell my kids, he the 13-year-old, probably the wisest 13-year-old, because I'm gonna give him the game. I'm gonna give anytime I'm around a young person, I'm going to give you the business, period. Because at the end of the day, your young people reflect the generation before them. Because them acting a fool, we have to take responsibility, accountability that we messed them up. We messed them up. Just like people that's fortunate enough to have the finances, they spoil kids and all that different stuff, and not necessarily they don't have to gather integrity and stuff like that in order to come up. Now they can be as disrespectful and all that different stuff. Nobody stops them. Nobody stops them. And that's sad. But at the same time, you can't blame these kids. You have to blame the ones before them, right? Um, and then if the one before them didn't have the opportunity to learn how to mature, gather scraps, put themselves together so that it won't just be sifted, it's sifted away from them. Like people come up and then they squander everything in a matter of time. Like they get all the, oh, you got to watch how you say these things. They'll get all of the monetary things and it just runs through their fingers because at the end of the day, when you look at it, who are you proving things to? Getting here on YouTube, I don't mind my hair being like that because at the end of the day, I got hair. This is all from the scalp. You see this? You know. Now I may throw a wig on. I do. Now I am somebody that do have some wigs. Okay, but I don't mind this aired out because you wash your hair or whatever, and I want the little curly look. So I'm trying to do this. Um, because this is going to be, winter's coming up, and now the summer. I don't know how I made it through, but I wore with. Hold on a second. This boy's doing flips in my house. All right, I'm back. So I'm looking at some notes um, that I wrote. Oh Lord. Mm, What is that? Rotate it back. What? Mm, All right. Let's say rotate it back. I don't know what that means. It say it's locked. What am- mm, mm. Hey, you back? I'm up here trying to figure out what I done wrong. Uh, did I do that right? No. All right. So I'm still finna be on Clarissa Shields. Can you hear me? Do you see this where it say orientation is locked? Rotate device back. I don't know what that means. Back to what? So it's telling me I have to rotate it sideways, but it ain't turned me nowhere. Help me, y'all. What am I supposed to be doing?
Let me see. Let me see. Let me
Mm,
see. I'm
mm.
saying I'm son of Michael.
What is it telling me? Yeah, it's telling me. Wait, now what is it? Oh, let's say share. You want to help me? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I doing wrong? What's that? Let's say retouch. No, um, I'm original, baby. Yeah, no filters, no nothing. You see that, Greg? Yeah. All right. So whatever. I'm gonna leave it like that. Next thing about an old girl, like from the beginning of time, old head. When an old man gets with a young woman, what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of Clarissa Shields being with this other woman's husband? If it isn't love, why do I feel this way? Why does she stay on his mind? Hmm, that's a good one. I'm going into my history of uh how many times have I seen this happen over and over again? This is a repeat, nothing new. Elijah, I need the charger. Um, Clarissa, she has so much she has accomplished. So right there, people that was in her circle, of course, would possibly hate on her. But why would somebody my age, like say for example, whatever I done in my life, it's already established, right? So somebody like Papoose, if you say that he's established, what has he done other than fathered some children and was a rapper? And people say that he's a cold rapper, right? But I never heard of him until Remy Ma. Now, me, I'm not sticking up for Remy Ma neither. I really didn't care for her before all this took this and that. The only thing that I really paid attention to was all the way up when she was on the Love and Hip Hop. And I tried watching that. I didn't care for that. Didn't care for her or whatever. So when it comes down to being a fan, not at all. Reason being is because I can't get with us being our age going back and forth with people that's my kids' age. To me, that's weird to me. Second of all, uh, looking at Clarissa, like the way that she um, communicates, the way that she is, the video that Layla Ali did, her first, her first response, that was something. That was something. But it was done in a 48-year-old mature person's way. Clarissa responded, mimicking the 48-year-old mature woman's way. Then, again, Layla Ali responded the second time in a 48-year-old woman's way, right? And then somebody on YouTube let us hear Clarissa Shields talking about the response from Layla. All wrong, all wrong. I'm like delusional because, again, I can't see my 30-year-old trying to fight, uh, just say 50-year-old man. Um, hmm. I don't care how that's drawn out. That's really crazy to me. Like, is nobody in your age bracket that you could come after? That's like somebody trying to fight the blind and saying, "Oh, you scared." It's not that I'm scared; it's that I'm blind. So that means you're seeing what I can't see. So that's the same thing. What Elayla's Ali's response was about her taking on this fight with Clarissa Shields. What's the point? Like, okay, you say $15 million. Now it's showing that that's everything to Clarissa Shields. It's nothing to Layla. Reason being is because she didn't set out her her life expanded brand deals and all. These are all the things that Clarissa's trying to get. Money shouldn't be your motivation, your talent should. Because if you go after using your talent, money is going to always come. But the way things are now, people chase the money, and that means that they'll move any way that money do. That means becoming the jack of all trades and the master of none. So after the money train runs out, you don't have nothing else to hold on to, right? That's bad business because you'll see yourself chasing things for so long. Then when it gets halted up, you don't know what to do, you know? So longevity is having. Elijah, would you bring me the charger? Would you bring me the charger? Hurry up, it's finna die. So longevity, giving these young people a little bit of wisdom. Like my kids forever calling me old, but don't realize that we're happy to be getting here and them being on a journey to get where we're at. Not financially, not not integrally or whatever, just life period. Um, you said aren't too young. You mean too old? People trying to make a living. Why? why is it that um other people can make money, but y'all feel like us more mature people can't, right? That's the crazy part. That why wouldn't I? If you see youngsters on here making money, then why can't I do it and be able to share? I love being able to conversate with people from all countries and looking at what everybody's going through. Thank you, but I don't want to be 13 again, for real. But uh that's the thing, that we all have to be on one accord, because this is just one life that we have to live out, right? And it shouldn't be confrontation between things that is out of our control. It's nothing that Clarissa Shields can do to change the hands of time. And at the end of the day, you want to fight the woman, knock the woman out, but the belt that you win, you literally got to go home with her face on it. Breaking it down, she literally have to have her face in her house. Just every time you hold up that belt, the person that you've been trying to provoke to fight you is so established that you got a little picture of her hanging on your wall or wherever you put it. That's crazy, right? So this is just how things is established. I wish Layla Ali had a kid that was like coming up boxing, and you can go up against her kid, go up against her child, because she's definitely old enough to be able to have it's still going, like literally Layla Ali could have a child and Clarissa Shields' age. Well, she would have been 17, 18 when she had her. And then, yeah, she could literally be her mother. That's what make it crazy. It's like we're still trying to get these Epstein files down, but everybody's fighting over the wrong thing. Today, it said people are not going to have food, not going to have, uh, they don't have their jobs and stuff like that. But we have a boxer that really have a wonderful future if she would just take hope to her future and quit. Yeah, Layla is old. That's what she called her. She said she's old. Yeah, she's old. That's the whole thing. She's old. So the old has been where the new or the young has been, but the young has not been where the old have. Like Layla has already been Clarissa Shields' age. She has already done what Clarissa Shields is trying to do. And Clarissa Shields is trying to figure out how to brand herself, but at the same time, walking around saying that boxing is her brand and she's not trying to model and all that. But you see her on magazines trying to model. All the hypocrisy, you know? It's hypocrisy. And I've never watched a girl fight. Reason being is because I done heard more about her character and it's flawed, that make me don't want to entertain what she does. That's bad because I love boxing, right? And I really have not watched women boxing since. It was Layla Ali and was it Hagler? No, or Frazier. It was Layla Ali and Frazier, Joe Frazier's daughter or whatever, and that was like a phenomenal fight. And so I went out on with a bang on women boxing with that. Never really heard, like I didn't heard names of women boxers, but it never just made me want to sit down and go crazy off of it. Like I literally just watched the latest men's boxing, and The main attraction was okay, but this Malby, yeah, I think it was Malby or something like that. Whew, that fight had me shook up. I'm like, I ain't had a fight, had I haven't watched a fight like that since like the Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, um yeah, go all the way back to Hearns. I remember watching Larry Hearns and Joe Coon, the Great White Hope. I was a kid watching that, so it was kind of in us to sit before the TV and yell at the TV watching boxing and stuff like that, and it lost its the momentum because of watching the some of the boxers now, like the boxer guy that have all these French braids that's about to go to jail. These are things that you go integral. Like Mike Tyson was running around being crazy. There was a time that he was Muslim. He was with Don King. He was running around with rappers. He was being sent to jail for essaying women, all kind of stuff, right? Um, but his fist spoke for itself. It was one of them, yeah, well, he crazy. But that was his brand. Everybody knew Mike Tyson will bite your ear off. But they like you get in the ring with him, he was known as like a gorilla, uh, a rockwaller, got hope to a chihuahua. That's when we got ready to watch them kind of fights, we had expectations, right? Now, watching boxers, it's like the momentum is not the same because they're all over social media and they're trying to tear down the character of the other opponent instead of just talking about us getting in this ring and me putting hands on you. Want to talk about, oh, you jealous? Oh, I got this, I got that. Who everybody's bragging about monetary things. Who cares? Who cares about the monetary things? Because that's something that you may have, but it's so many people that's without. But at the same time, you're still promoting because the people that's without, you still want more of their without. They don't have nothing else to give, and you still want more. Even if it's just for them to be jealous of you or them to um, do or say something to make you respond in such a derogatory um I just don't understand. And the reason why I don't understand, I have children this age, and I can't see that coming. I can't see some of the most ignorant or the most heinous things that you can say about another human being, all because of something that somebody told you that they said, because you're not showing no receipts. But it's just a few. When the last time you watch, other than these people jumping around playing pranks or whatever, when you go on YouTube and stuff now, it's just to spew out more stuff, keeping people in fear, keeping people. You're seeing people angry. You're seeing families, the Braxtons. Like I said, okay, so I'm gonna try and get past Clarissa Shields. So now we're gonna talk about the Braxtons. How did Tony Braxton wind up with somebody like Birdman? Tony Braxton, I saw as one of those, you're not man enough for me. That's what she said. That's what she sung. Tony Braxton's song, You're Not Man Enough for Me. And she winded up with Birdman. Birdman literally kissing other men on the mouth. The men that have allegations against him for being with boys to men, ABC, BBD, right? Um, the man that has all these tattoos on her face, a woman that you could literally see with a man like Babyface, whip appeal. But no, and I just watched Versus. This is so crazy to me. I watched Versus. Now you know what? One person, juvenile. That's one part just because of that song. Just because of that song. Uh I don't forgot it now. But I know when they come on, you ready to dance. Back hurting all. When they come on, you just like, right? But they had the Braxtons on YouTube and showed the episode. So I went back on Philo and I watched. I binged and watched those 3 episodes of the Braxtons, right? Is it just me? Or the mom be like, "Oh, the Lord, let's pray this and that." And that mama clearly hates their dad. She hates that dad. She hates the woman that the dad is with. And the crazy part is for them to say that they had the upbringing of the father being a deacon and the mama being a church lady or whatever, and she's still trying to conduct herself as if she's a Christian. This is the most hateful Christian that I've man since I was in church. Because me, I wasn't raised up in church. But when I started going to church, I literally grew in church with my kids. To the point when my kids got grown, they said, "Mom, we didn't even know that we wasn't PK kids." So that let me know how um, maybe hypocritical I was bringing them up in church. I always told them the straight up truth. I can't tell you what to believe in. I won't force, like my son is fresh out the army. He asked me, he said some girl asked him to go to church. And he said it was some kind of church or whatever. And he asked me, what do I think? And I told him, I'll never, this is what I will not do. I will never tell him his path because I can voice the opinion of what we started. Oh, I don't know why I got, oh, I just got teary eyed. Um, I'll never tell a young person their path of you have to follow Jesus, but you should. Reason being is because it's a long list of reasons why. And one of them by us starting that journey off together. If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't be standing how he would be the typical thug, probably baby mama, then already been in jail. Yeah, because I was a foster kid. This is what statistics say was supposed to be for me, you know? So, but I can't tell him his destiny. I can't tell him his choice. But when you ask me, um, I'll give you a scenario, and I always made them aware of the binds that we were in with them growing up, down to not having food, not knowing how to pay this light bill, stuff like that. Being a single mom, bringing up 2 men. Now I have 3 sons and 1 daughter, and bringing up young men. Who knows? Who would have thought? They say a woman cannot raise a young man. I believe that's true because it's going to always be some things lacking, but you can surround them around men that you consider to be men, not leaving them in the hands of these men because of stuff that happened. And I was very aware of that, me growing up, and how I was tampered with. So it's just certain, um oh, how can you do it, certain authorities you give to no one, but at the same time it is things that you have to release into somebody else's hands. When it comes down to a young man, you have to see the character of who you're allowing your kids to be in the presence of, not because they're a church man and oh they call this and that and that. I always tell somebody I don't mind following long as I know what I'm following. You know what I mean? You have to look at what your kids are drawn to. Like my 13-year-old, if I blindfold him and I put him in a room of good and bad, some kind of way, he navigates over to the trouble. But at the same time, I look at the stuff that pops up on the YouTube feed. I got allergies, so y'all gotta pay attention. I keep on rubbing my eye. Um, the YouTube feeds of what he's watching. It's SML, stuff like that. So I have to constantly intervene. But when you have a child that goes to public school and stuff like that, they're going to pick up on stuff whether you're allowing it in your home or not. Because you can't control what's going on with other people's kids. The only thing is, back to what I was telling my son, I can't tell you to follow Jesus. But I have to keep on introducing scenarios and standing by faith for you to watch the outcome because of my faith, if that makes sense, right? Um, I try and respect everybody's outlook, whatever road. Okay, how can I do it? And all this is going back to Tony Braxton, the Braxtons, because I want to, on this page, I want to be able to not be biased, except for when it comes down to different foods and things like that. But going deeper into things that appears to be all negative, but also being able to look at another road not taken, and if it is taken, what the outcome could be, right? Now, Tony Braxton has an illness that my sister had, my big sister. So it's certain things that little sisters shouldn't do to bring more stress to the big sisters, because they allowed this same thing to happen to one of their sisters and now she's not here, right? But it's only so long that you can go acting a certain way. Like it should be a lesson out of everything that we involve ourselves in. Y'all gotta what? I'm gonna keep on stopping because I don't want to say anything to offend anybody. And like I said, this page is to uplift, motivate, encourage, also talk about things I've done, do, see, seen, heard, or whatever in these streets. And it's always to um, help, not hurt, right? Some things are going to be harsh, but in love, if that makes sense. I'm not necessarily for the gossip. I'm always try and have some type of resolution, even if it's prying into my own personal, because that's the only way that I can see things getting better is for people of my generation being able to relate to the young people by sharing their triumphs, their um, downfalls, their mistakes, their embarrassments, whatever, because I feel like we done came too far to not share something that can stop somebody from going down a road that we know is destruction, or trying to influence them to go down a road where they can benefit, they can triumph, but everybody's outlook is about finances. I know Trump make us have to pay attention to the finances because he always have something hanging over your head like you're going to wake up and you're going to be asleep outside, or your money ain't going to matter because you're going to be unemployed by tomorrow. Everything to keep you living in fear. But me being 50 something, me got to and lived in fear for many, many years, right? But there comes a time in your life when um, your faith is stronger than your fear. Reason being, when you get to a place and your mouth is not the only mouth you have to feed, you're gonna have to stand out on a ledge and you're gonna have to walk tight ropes. And your faith is gonna have you know that you're not gonna fall, right? I'm just on here babbling, but back to what I seen in Evelyn. And Evelyn, you're wrong. Because them girls have so many secrets and so many hurts, and they have to save face um, for fortune and fame. And you vicariously going through them and should be chilling. But instead, you want to be part of the problem instead of the solution. And I don't care what nobody say. When Tawanda got up there and said, I will not entertain the sick, how devilish was that? You know your sister has mental situations going on, but at the same time, she keeps on being your savior. Like, you literally just married a man that couldn't even put you in your house. The same woman you said is so sick gave you the money to go into the house that you and your groom winded up in. You call this woman so sick, but she's literally the executive to the show that you're on that's giving you finances to be able to I don't want to say support your man, but that's what it's giving. It really looks like that, and for you to black, even if she did sleep with her sister's man, is there any level of respect that y'all have for one another when it's all based off of Trina defending a man that was more interested in all them other women, including her niece, that's sitting up there and showing that she's going to do anything to keep her hand from showing. But she throwing many rocks. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And then to see that all this started with y'all sister, Tony, somebody that's admired all around the globe. He wasn't man enough for me. But how is it that each one of y'all, I'm gonna be honest, each one of y'all looked like Tawana. She said she never had a wedding, and the man that she had before, the one that she had kids by or whatever, she literally had to be the one to find shelter. You had to go and live with your sister. This man waited on you to come home and said that y'all gonna be put out in 24 hours or whatever. These are kind of men that Tawanda get with. So you had to go to your sister to get the money to move this man in. He been around the family for it's given. This is what you settled for, or he settled for you, or whatever. But it seems like he's there keeping more confusion between you. Is there a such thing as men being in the corner of trying to make things better and easier for you than to cause more division? Like I was watching Trina's cooking show one time, and the husband said, "Well, you're one that forgive and all of that," and he said, "I'm not there yet." When it's all said and done, these men are showing you how to have. It seemed like y'all didn't have that much division before y'all got these men. Trina have a man that spews out a lot of hatred or shut the f up kind of vibe, and same thing is Tawanda. Now these you look at as supposed to be strong men, right? Totally different than what y'all had at first. So that's got y'all acting totally different than what we previously known you for. And it is showing that you're seeming like you're more confident. No. You just took on a spirit of being wicked, you know? The transferring. And you guys stand as a Christian household, a background of being Christian, but the things that y'all doing is not Christ like at all. At all, at all. When the Braxton Family Value was on, it was a lineup. I used to watch uh Mary came on first, right? They and y'all literally was standing out more than Mary as like sisters of faith. Mary was getting into it, but they were showing true colors. Now that Tracy is gone, and y'all standing and supposed to be Christ like people. Y'all supposed to be family of faith, and your mom is praying mom, and mommy gonna whoop us and all that kind of stuff. It just shows that mom is, and I could say that because my children, I have grown kids. My kids too was raised in the church like setting, right? And when they got grown, some things that they told. Now, I do not regret being in church because I learned things about me. I learned how to follow suit on some things that I really believed in. So those are character correct character traits that before I started following Christianity or following Christ, um, I didn't necessarily have. I had more of, I got to get mine, you got to get yours kind of thing. And it hurt people. It even hurt me because my way of thinking, it was all about me. But as I grew, it's a collaborate of people that you have to incorporate in your life, your circle, in order to make a team strong enough you know, to last the test of time. And when you think about the collaborant, it has to be people like minded. That's in anything that you do. If you start a business, you can't start a business with somebody that opposes everything that you do. This goes back to Clarissa Shields. You can't have everybody that's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You like, oh, I'm finna do it just like she did, and this is finna too. This is finna do it. This clock it. You know, everybody clock it. And nobody said, now what we doing this for? Why are you trying to fight this old lady? Nobody on her team said, why are you trying to fight this old lady? Why are you going after Muhammad Ali's daughter? Why are you dissing her? Look at who trying to fight you. Let's keep on chasing the bag. Now, why are you trying to rap? Because this man, but this is what this man do. Nobody ever heard of you trying to rap until you got with this old man. And the crazy part is this old man ain't, you got up here on this YouTube streets and you did a rap. Literally. That man's wife would eat your tail up. You can outbox her, but she can out rap you. You see how they go? Y'all in two different lanes. And you can win at one, she can win at one. But y'all both in war for one. For one that's not worth it. You can't rap, she can fight, but you can box. Two different things, right? But y'all both were connected to this person that is the only one winning. I'll be, if I was a fly on the wall and I had this little recorder thing, I would want to hear because he still have to talk to his wife because of his daughter. He still have a daughter that loves his wife. So everybody is still rooting for them too. The wife is sick and tired of his mess. So the wife brought it out. But at the same time, the wife say, go on, go on, fill out the paperwork. I just want my jewelry back. This and this, that, and that. He's not responding. But the last thing that I heard, I haven't even heard them say, oh, Papoose, he finally done said it's definitely over. It's him showing himself connected to you. But show me where he done disrespected his wife. He's literally, you're lined up with him. His wife went and got with a younger man, not as young as you, but she went and got with a young man. He got with a young woman. He caught her with this young man that looks similar to him. And you looked at nothing like Remy Ma until you start going and literally trying to dress like Remy Ma. Bad business. And him walking around looking like Kevin Costner. Y'all look like Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston in Bodyguard. Like there's an attraction for there. He has an attraction for you, but at the same time, the attraction is I know it can't be, but Kevin Costner was assigned to her. He cared for her, but at the same time, he had a job to do. At the end of the day, Papoose got a job to do, and that's take care of his children and grandchildren and that wife if she fall because he can take the money that he gets because y'all building as a team. How are you going to build as a team if he's already somebody else's team? When he goes and divorces her, you got to find out what the law is. Well, he can't pay spousal support because she makes more until he comes up with you. Then she could go for more. But look, she still haven't. lost anything now that you got her weight. That's how you know that she was carrying the weight of that relationship, because she ain't missed nothing that he's gone. You still seeing her working, you still seeing her, and the only thing you could say is, oh, we could get in a ring and fight. If you touch that woman, your hands are supposed to be registered, ma'am. If you put your hands on anybody that you come in contact with, except for Layla and the other boxers, bye bye career. If you even touch the hair on Remy Ma, it's a problem, because you as a boxer, you're not supposed to do it. Regardless if she went to jail for being about that life, she didn't have to register as a fight offender. You know what I mean? You have so much to lose. So you know that this is all bumping bumping gums. That's all it is. And this older man that's connected to you, it was so it was so crazy to see him like a kid in a candy store when you was about to box. And I saw clips of this. I didn't watch the fight. But he walked in the ring and grabbed the mic to perform. That means that you set the stage for him. Same thing like with his wife. She set the stage for him, even though they say he was doing it first. But I hear that he was a great rapper, but I never heard it. I heard his wife. They say that he knocked out somebody because of his wife. You're knocking out people and cussing out people and all that and going back and forth with his wife. The most disrespectful thing that he said about his wife was, oh, when he was at the house. But look at how a real man wouldn't been able to do this. The woman from prison came and spent the night at their house, and he was like, yeah, you could go on in there and sleep in a room with this woman. If the woman still had respect for you, you'd have been like, babe, that nah. I mean, I don't care if she spent the night, but bring your tail to bed, because you got some things you got to tend to. And as a wife, you would tell your friend, girl, I got to go in here. It is, you know, it is what it is. And a real friend is going to respect that. But him knowing what's going on in his house, and he still allow it, and then he runs to you and he's texting and talking to you on the phone, sneaking around in his house like a teenager, a crazed teenager, out of respect for the wife. Still, all the stuff that's going on, the wife is still laughing at you because you're the one doing all the talking, and she's laughing, but she was actually tired of him. So she like, you got that. Saying this is trying to get you to understand that you got to respect yourself enough to make yourself, as you say that you a brand, make sure that he's making you his brand, because you done made him yours. Every move you're making, he's right there. But low key, when he makes moves, he have to make moves separate from you. When he goes to his house where his wife at, do you think he's just walking in talking to his daughter? No, him and his wife is fussing. Him and his wife is still trying to save face for the other children. Him and his wife still got to keep communication and all that. This is not like an ex girlfriend. At the end of the day, you don't know when God is going to intervene. And they say, you know what, we have to have peace, because for some reason, this been dragging out for a year or so, and them that divorce still ain't been finalized. Why? Is any of these questions being asked to you by close people in your corner, saying, why is he here, Ike? Why is he here? What is the purpose of this man being here? That's the biggest question. Orientation is locked. Rotate this device. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, so, okay, it said the same thing. Wait a minute. How do this? How do this keep on? All right. So I had to go through whole bunch to get that orientation lock off my screen. I done jumped on here and I done said a whole lot. Ending scenario, well, ending point with, y'all see my allergy, look my eyes. Um, what I wanted to say about the Braxton. Like, first of all, I'm tired of Tamar. I'm tired of Tamar being everywhere. I understand this is one of those, any publicity is good publicity, I guess. Because of this little movie thing that she used Man DC to come in. And people was doing too much to try and get a little. And respect ain't one of them no more, right? Now that's her as an individual, but that does not take away the fact that this girl, she love her family. To her family, she's going about. This is a dysfunction with all families. Is always going to be somebody or some people that the family do not understand them going their own way, that won't play the game. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's what I did. I stepped away from my family. I've been out here on this journey by myself for over 20 years. Um, my kids raised better, but it did cause them to get grown and get gone. Some people they move out the house, but they're still in the same state. My kids is all around the globe. I miss them. That causes a lot of sadness, but at the same time, it causes a lot of joy. You know, so that's why I started this YouTube channel in the first place, because of the lonely part. Not alone, God got my back, but the loneliness of what I thought parenting was, them getting grown, staying down the street, have a lot of grandkids. They come over. I don't have not one grandbaby. My Chewini is as close as I got to a grandbaby. And my 13-year old. If my 13-year old wasn't here right now, Yeah, depression would be at an all-time high. That's why it's one of those trying to figure it out kind of things. And I would say people my age and a little bit older that have grown children or whatever, that this is just a time in order for them to elevate and be set free and get past the demons that they face or whatever you want to call it, is you loving them enough to, if it's got to be in secret, having a in I have a different relationship with each one of my children. No favoritism, but one do make you smile a little bit more because your kids can grow up and they could be either buttholes because they're butt hurt, or I don't know. Uh, each one of them I had to treat differently, but the same. Like the opinions, the discipline, and all that was the same. I would say my daughter, she would definitely say that I wrote her harder. With now this, I'm trying to loop all this in with what I see with the Braxtons, right? Tamar being the youngest, I see her lashing out because she mad. She mad that Evelyn didn't take the, because I could see it. Like I could see that Tamar probably was reacting to the things that happened to her, and just seeing how Evelyn be checking them about how they should act or whatever. I believe that this was a lot of things that was covered up because it was one of those don't want people in your business kind of things or whatever. And I don't think that she allowed, or she wasn't there to help her heal correctly. And I think that's why Tamar reacts the way that she reacts now. It has a lot to do with her keeping the church like image. And if people pay attention to what's going on, a lot of things. Tawanda and Tracy, no, not Tracy, sorry, rest in peace, Trina. Tawanda and Trina acts the same way. Um, Tawanda is, I can, like, she's always trying to check it, or she's always trying to, like, I will not come off my throne in order to appease this peasant kind of thing. But if you look at it, Trina, Tawanda never made it from under Tony's image, still to this day. But now is the baby sister paved a way, carved out a way for y'all to eat. Y'all trying, and that's even including the mama. Y'all despise her, but need her, if that makes sense. That what would Tawanda be doing other than background and working for Tony? And that wasn't enough because that caused you to wind up having to show up at Tony's house with all them kids and a husband. Now you got a husband and the kids done got grown, but now you had to go to Tamar, who also was like background or whatever for Tony and stepped into her own and became successful to the point that she had to look out for you. She had to look out for you when she was married to Vince. Now she's solo and she's still moving you and your husband into a house or whatever, and you gonna say thank you and you gave it to me. Why would she give, not let you borrow, but why would she give you that money and not ask, for it back or whatever. Like it's not making sense, right? And for you to say that you will not argue with somebody sick, that was so below the belt to the point that I already didn't too much care for it because I see the snakish ways. I see that throwing Trina too. I bet Trina got a bigger heart, but she can't really operate in her heart because she's got to be on somebody's side, and she usually have to be on the side of somebody feeding her, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's one of those, she's following suit behind Tawanda. Tawanda is for herself, but she had to have somebody that um cheering her on, rooting for her, that was in somewhat of the same boat. But Tawanda is the only one that keeps showing up with bums, if that makes sense. Because she have to be in relationships where she's in Trina, on the other hand, wants the man to be in control. You could tell by the guy that she's married to. And the mama and Tawanda have like the same spirit. Ooh, these allergies. Goodness gracious. Uh, I'm gonna have to go and get some clarity. Something because this loratadine, that ain't working. That's just a knockoff. Um, oh my goodness. And I got this boy. We in here making some red kidney beans, some cornbread. Um, might fry this chicken, have some rice on the side or something. But he got it in the crock pot. Elijah, he done went in there and went to sleep again. Hey, come stir up your food. Taste it and see if it needed more seasoning. Like this little boy, he cooks so good. I'm like, I already see what he, because his dad, I would say his dad loved to cook to the point that he would be at work and he would call, hey, babe, take this out the freezer with it. I really didn't even have to cook when my husband was around. That was the good thing. It wasn't that I wasn't gonna cook. I would have plans to cook thing, and he would just call and be like, "Hey, have you started cooking yet?" And I'm like, "No." And he like, "Oh, what you want for dinner?" He would just tell me to, take something out. I love that. Now me, I did more of the soul food cooking or whatever. My husband did the seafood. I mean, not the seafood. He used to barbecue, and he did the Mexican food. Like he used to make salsa. Ay, 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 ay. Um, and yeah, like I said, we split up because of the drinking or whatever. And I've been sitting back, and like I haven't went through with no divorce because like I said, I had a good husband, but you gotta know your worth. I'm just praying for him to stop. He don't have to stop drinking it, but it's about, you can have a drink, but don't let it consume you. Because we are raising a young man, and we do not want that to be his demon, right? So it took for my daughter to say, "Would I? Would you be all right if I brought somebody like that home?" Right there, that hits a certain kind of way. You're like, absolutely not. And the guy that my daughter married, the crazy part was his father passed away, and he took off drinking. But my daughter told her husband, "Look, you got 6 months to get yourself together because I do not mind being single in my 20s." I'm like, "You go, girl." So that's the reason why that motivated me. What else I want to talk about? Mm, okay, the food stamps. If y'all don't see what's going on, don't y'all get out there and loot and riot and all that different stuff because it's gonna happen for you. Like y'all may be younger, or whatever the case may be. This is not the first time us as African Americans or blacks or coloreds or niggers, whatever they want whatever they want to call us, you gotta know how favored you are. This is not the first time that we've been put in these situations. We always make it out. But one thing y'all gotta realize is families. Families. Me, I wouldn't mind if one of my neighbors had kids or whatever the case may be. I would throw some, like I'm making beans and stuff right now. Man, look, I would just add, because it ain't nothing to go and get some, like the kidney beans, $1 and something a pack. Get that neck bones like $4 and something. Throw that over there. Get you some links. Chop that up. Put that over there in there. Take your seasonings. If you don't have a lot of seasonings, I was watching today how you make um garlic powder and and onion powder or whatever. Simple. It's all about throwing it in the oven. Who would have thought? Um, Now I'm looking at it so many ways for us to be able to survive. Now everybody want to do all these crab and lobster boils or whatever. It come when you in survival mode. Now if you know how to fish, get down there to the lake. Do what it do. I would do it myself if I didn't have a problem with putting a worm on a hook. Now I like throwing the rod in the water and pulling the fish back up. But who finna take that little squirmy thing off the hook, touching it like that, or scaling it and cleaning it? I could do part two and part three. Part two, because I'm not gonna put the worm on the hook first of all, but it's fun to cast it out, feel it, just and you getting the reel and reeling it in and fighting with it or whatever. That's the fun part of fishing. Pulling it out the water, seeing the fish, that's a good thing. But then the fish is on the hook and moving around or whatever, that's when the girl kick in. You go, like, what am I finna do now? And excuse me, and excuse me, I'm gonna need somebody to come and get it off the hook. And if y'all want to cook it and cut it and all that different stuff, please throw it over there in the bucket, whatever we could take it home. But all I did was get it in the bucket. That's it. Well, all I did was get it out the water. I can't even get it in the bucket because I can't do the squirming. Same thing with a worm. With that one, let me tell you why. I think my great grandmother messed me up. She had a garden, right? And now I wasn't born sucking my thumb or whatever, but I don't know why I started sucking my thumb around 5, 6 years old. And I remember coming home from school and we used to have to take these naps. And I remember laying down to take a nap and all that kind of stuff and went to sleep with my thumb in my mouth. And she had already told me several times to quit putting my thumb in my mouth or I was going to mess up my teeth. And I went on and I laid down and I did it anyway. Lo and behold, in my sleep, on my thumb, something's on my thumb moving around. I pull it out, I wake up, and it was a cloth tied around my thumb. And when I opened up, a caterpillar fell out. You know I was done, right? Yeah, yeah. Then her garden. Oh my God, y'all, these damn allergies. I'm out in the garden, and I remember I had on some long pink pants. They were like bell bottoms or something. And she did. She used to dress me up and be cute. But those were play clothes. You used to have to come home from school Get out them school clothes and put on your play clothes. But I had on like some pink bell bottoms or something like that. And she was out in the garden, and while she was over there with them cabbage and collard greens, she had a stick, and she told me to do something, and I didn't do it on time. And she took the stick and the caterpillar. I don't think she tried to thump it on me, but now this is already, I'm petrified of caterpillars because of what had happened to my thumb. And she flicked that caterpillar and it winded up on the bottom leg of my pants. You know what I did? But we was in our own yard or whatever. I must have right there in the yard. I pulled down them pants, took them off, and took off running, and went in the house. I was traumatized. I was traumatized. Those are things that traumatize, screaming and hollering this and that. And she was just laughing and laughing and laughing. And she, see, I told you to do this and do that. Well, this too. All these things is back then. It used to be do as I say, not as I do. By the time, because I had rebelled, I had did so much. By the time I was 12, I had already had done a lot. I had done a lot. So by the time I had kids, it was a lot of stuff that I was burnt out from anyway, if that makes sense. And right now, these young people are living fast, but at the same time, they live as if, this is the last day, and you got to live each day like it's your last. Yeah, but don't provoke those days. You know, is and they say when you respect your mother and father, that's longevity for your days. That's Bible. That's biblical right there. Ooh, that's deep. Shama nama nama. Uh, I've been on here an hour. Yeah, my baby's been on here for about an hour. Okay, I done went over that time. So again, thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for interacting with me. You guys has been awesome. I gotta get on the page of knowing exactly what time I'm gonna get on here. I'm still trying to look at other content creators, learning a method because I cannot. I want to know how to do the AIs or whatever, but unfortunately, everybody that's offering to help, they want some money. I'm like, I can't do that. Can't pay that money if I ain't making money. If that, I have a kid that I got to do. So any money that I'm making outside of YouTube got to go to these things called bills. It's just me and my kid, you know. Um, it is more things I want to do. So I'm slowly picking away at this YouTube channel because I'm like, eventually one day I will get here. Not rushing the process, but I'm rushing the process. Because I'm going, okay, I don't want to have to walk away from YouTube because of financial, but I'm not going to say but. I'm going to stick to this thing and I just have to add on other stuff. A lot of times it be like my back is starting to hurt right now, so I'm finna get off. And my blood pressure, it be doing stuff every now and then, but I'm gonna make it. See how there's allergies and stuff, and my eyes that I'm rubbed it so much. Hey, who is this? Did I turn off my conversation? Wait, I don't know. I know I'm still talking. No. Okay, so I'm gonna stay. It says stay streaming. But you that come in, don't forget to press like, trying to just get in the algorithm of things. I want to be a positive, motivating content creator. I don't want to spew hatred. We got enough of that going on. I won't knock nobody for for their content, because at the end of the day, I know when we started this thing, a lot of people say, "Oh, you can make the money." I did get on here to like fellowship or interact because my life is quiet outside of YouTube right now, because I am on a journey of healthy healing and being delivered and set free, and at the same time, not my my compassion for people is through the roof. You know, that was because somebody was compassionate about me when I was out there. Oh, I was ignorant. I will not lie. I had no understanding of life itself, not realizing how important you are as an individual that was brought into this earth, and having an assignment where you're destined to finish an assignment. It's a purpose that you have on this planet to accomplish, to be seen. It's all about the talents that's given, and I didn't invest in me because I didn't believe in me. And then now that the kids are growing up, I'm watching my kids literally going down different fields. When I say jack of all trades, I went down and adapted to a lot of different um, gifts. Is it gifts or talents? Hmm. Talented, but I connected myself to a lot of different things instead of just focusing on one. But now YouTube, I'm trying to just focus on that, and like I do a lot of uploading or downloading or story time on Facebook of trying to do more funny stuff. Now I'm trying to feel my way what to do on Instagram. Then they said they got X and Discord, and I'm signed up for these things. It's just that I don't know which way to take this right now, because I just can't do anything to anybody. I don't want to be cussing, don't want to be mad, because after you turn, like, I'm finna turn this camera off, but after you turn this camera off and you go back to your reality is that you was born, and where you're at or your home is supposed to be a place of refuge. So I really don't want to argue with people online, just like the peace in my home. I don't know the last time that I had uh well, it is one right before I moved over here, but we'll get into that later. Thanks again for coming onto my channel. Welcome. If this is your first time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please hit like. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. If you would like to donate to my channel, I am going to put my description down in the link. And I will also set up a link for you to be able to get on here and subscribe. And let me know, what do you think about some of the things that I did today. Help me to be able to become better. I can take corrective criticism. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So respectfully, could you please let me know how I'm doing as a content creator? I'm trying to become more professional. I'm trying to offer out suggestions, not just bringing you gossip. I also want to give resolutions, because I know each time that we're online, we are going to come across some things that's closer to home than others. And if I can give some type of resolve to the situation, I would be honored to. And also, this is just what I'm in. I'm very compassionate about you becoming a winner or celebrating you as a winner, but at the same time, giving you the ammunition to fight back and not be nobody's fool. It's time for healing, getting past the hurt. That's good work. Peace out. You guys have a great evening. I'll be back on here later on. It's inevitable. Elijah.